Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So in this one here, I want to break down episode nine's, it's episode, I guess season, or it's part two's trailer, right? Like, I think most of the footage here is from episode 9, but there's quite a bit too from like episodes 10, 11, 12, and so forth. Though I do think most of it is from episode 9, and I say that because I do think they're going to be changing the momentum here a little bit, the story pace, and I do think we're going to get a bit of a time jump here at episode 9. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this, and also make sure to go follow me on Twitch. It's just at Appetite for the Dead. I want to do a live stream today. I want to do the first live stream, and I'm thinking of playing Warzone or like Zombies or something like that, just because that's all I've been playing lately. And so I'm definitely going to set it up like right away once this video is live and all that. I'm going to set that up, and I don't know when I'm going to be streaming. It's going to be much later. So if you're in Europe and all that, and you know, like that's going to definitely suck. 'Cause I think you're like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours or whatever. It depends on where you're at, but it'll definitely be in the middle of the night for you guys. But yeah, I really want to do some streams, and I want to start getting on that. I'm also going to need some mods and stuff on that channel too as well. So definitely, yeah, I'll have to start getting all that stuff set up and like custom emojis and all that stuff. Cause that stuff, like I'm learning all of that on Discord, but on like everything else, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. So definitely I need some help there. But yeah, definitely make sure to go follow me on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. But let's talk about episode 9 here. So the one thing that I do want to say is that, like I said, I really feel like most of the trailer is from 9, but there's going to be obviously footage here from episodes 10, 11, 12, and probably up to 13. I can't see any other shots being from anything farther than that, because I think it'd be a little crazy, I think. Like, in my opinion, I think it would be a little crazy. And this is kind of where I see the story going. First of all, I think we will see Pamela Milton in episode 9. I think there's a possibility that we're going to see some sort of scene with her where it's sort of like what we got in the trailer here, right? It's just the presentation of her. Like this is Pamela Milton. She's doing this press conference, or she's going to make a speech, right? Until she shows up. I could see that happening in 9. They could do some other stuff towards the end of the episode, but I really do feel like episode 9 is primarily going to focus on them, I guess, coming back with some food from Alexandria. And we'll talk about that in another video, or not from Alexandria, from Meridian. And we'll talk about that in my next trailer video that I got, because on that one, I want to focus more specifically on what's going on in Alexandria, because we have a shot like this here, and we see, obviously, there's food here, right? So they did make it back with some food. Like, it actually was successful. There's a lot of footage, though, of like Leah and Carver during the day. There's a lot of shots of Maggie and Negan during the day. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, what is going on here? All of that stuff. If the battle, the cliffhanger that they ended on in episode 8 was supposed to be really big, there would be a lot more there. I think we would see more footage, right, from it, and we're not seeing that at all. So I really do believe that we're going to get a quick opening scene. It might be 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that, and then the opening credits are going to roll, and then we're going to see shots of like Maggie and Negan outside, and they're going to be traveling back. We're going to see Daryl and Gabriel, maybe everyone else too as well, just kind of talking about stuff, and it's going to be very, very not action focused, and mostly them just coming back, right? And then I don't know what's going to happen with Leah and all that. I think then we're going to learn some more stuff about, Maggie and Pope, and then like with that whole relationship, some stuff between Daryl and Leah. Daryl will tell them about Leah and who she was to him. Negan's probably going to be like, oh, damn. I think that's going to be a lot of episode 9. I think they're going to go back, and they will see that maybe. I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like, if you're looking at the trailer, it doesn't look like Eldon's alive. So it seems like Eldon's most likely going to be gone, and this could be his death episode, right? So we'll have to see where they go there. But at this point, they're all going to make it back, and then I think we're going to get that reunion. And then from there, that's where things are going to get split off. So I think in my next video, I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more in depth there. I'll talk about what could happen with Elijah and Eldon. And I'll just because you don't see them in the trailer here, and it just kind of seems like there's a high possibility that they both die in episode 9. So we'll have to see where they go with that. But from here, I do believe things are going to start to branch off a little bit. Like, you get a shot here of Maggie looking down from Alexandria's walls at a Commonwealth troop. I really do believe that Maggie will stay behind in Alexandria, right? I kind of like, you need some of the characters to be split up a little bit. I think they're going to keep Maggie and Negan together, and then they're going to have Daryl and Carol and a bunch of others going to the Commonwealth. Like that's kind of how I see it playing out. So in my next video, I'll focus on the Maggie and Negan stuff and the Judith stuff with the CRM and Rick stuff. I'll talk about that more in depth there. But from here, we split off into what's going to happen with Daryl and Rosita and Carol and everyone. So we have a shot like this here where we see Daryl and Rosita with Mercer. They're all wearing black. And so the question is, why? Well, in my opinion, I think it's because they're training to be soldiers, because I know that the Commonwealth troops wear like this black clothing underneath their armor. So I really do believe that they're training to be soldiers, because it makes sense. Rosita, I mean, she is soldier material. Daryl is obviously soldier material. So I think a shot like this is Mercer training them. So it's kind of cool. So Mercer's going to be their general, their boss, right? And so I really wonder how that's going to go. And that's kind of where I see Daryl fitting as well. Right, like I think that's one of those things where if there's certain people that aren't, that can't really adapt to the Commonwealth society, they're just gonna send them to the military. It's pretty simple, right? People who are they're like, oh, you're damaged, you're whatever. They're just gonna send them to the military, and I think there's gonna be a lot of issues there, right? There's gonna be some stuff there where it's like you don't care about your people and all that, because that is like a big part of the storyline, right? Like the Commonwealth. The higher-ups don't care about its own people at all. And then, obviously, I mean, Eugene did tell them the location of Alexandria. And so we see some shots of Eugene talking with Lance. And this stuff I find really interesting because Eugene seems to be, like, the main player in all of this, right? We don't, like, not yet anyways. We have no shots of, like, Daryl and Carol communicating with, like, Lance Hornsby, with, Pamela Milton and all that. At some point, I am expecting them to take over the mantle from Eugene, but I don't know when. Eugene's obviously going to play a big part here with the Stephanie arc and until that wraps up. And if you notice in the trailer, there's no shots of Stephanie and Eugene. So I'm not sure what happened to her. It's possible that obviously that reveal happened. Maybe they were put in a cell. There's a lot of stuff here that I am really curious as to the direction that they're going to go in, because and this is the exciting part of the final season. And I will say that, you know what, I probably should do a video about that later on, because I have been seeing an increase in people saying that, the first part was kind of dull. And I actually do understand a certain aspect to it. I really do. I understand that this is the final season, so it should feel more like the final season. And the Reaper arc kind of felt weird. I just really believed that it was a slow setup. It was a slow start because they're setting up a lot of stuff, like the Commonwealth, and setting up the Reaper arc a lot more. And that's just sort of a belief I held on to. And then when we got the trailer here, it kind of confirmed that a lot. Obviously we still have to watch the show to see, but seeing the trailer, like, you see so much stuff that I wanted to see in the first part, but we're getting it in the second part. So there's all that build up, and I'm excited to see where they're going to go with all of that. And I do think we're going to get some pretty big storylines here, and very big, like, end of series storylines, right? It's not going to be just the next threat. Oh, we're dealing with this villain. Okay, we defeated them. We're going to move on to the next one. And can we defeat, all those same questions that we have. They're all going to be thrown out the door, because this is the next stage here of The Walking Dead. In the apocalyptic life cycle, if you think of it, we're at the point now where they can go back to being normal. So this is like the end. They can go back to having a normal life, but how is that going to work? How can they actually go back to being normal when they dealt with so much? It's something that it's definitely like that is the next stage here, right? And if only everyone else that we lost throughout the years, if only they made it to this point here, because they beat the apocalypse, right? They're at a point now where this is a really good place to stay in. Like, this can save everyone. So yeah, we'll talk about that and more in another video here. But we do have a shot here of Carol again. She has an outfit change, so that's interesting. Everyone seems to get outfit changes right away. It seems like when they arrive to the Commonwealth, they're all put in new clothes. I think it would be kind of cool, and I have to go back to the shot here of Daryl and Rosita with Mercer. It would be kind of cool to see them in Commonwealth troop armor, right? Like, just imagine Daryl wearing that armor. Like, it's kind of hard to believe, in my opinion. But yeah, the first part of this story here is going to be Daryl and Carol not being allowed in certain places, and just conflict with Sebastian Milton. And I think that's where the key to all of this is. It's going to be with Sebastian Milton and Mercer and Daryl. It's going to be those three specifically. I think Daryl and Mercer are gonna get along really well. I really do. Mercer, yeah, he's all like, he puts on that performance as like the tough cop, but like you can kind of see it from him. Like you can see that he is a genuine person. He's a really cool dude, right? So I think that relationship's gonna work really well. I think they're both gonna be like best friends. I think they're both gonna have, if not that, they're gonna have like respect for one another, right? And then Sebastian Milton's gonna come in, and honestly, this is how I see it going. I totally see Daryl getting in trouble for hitting Sebastian Milton. I feel like it's gonna be Sebastian's gonna do something that's gonna hurt Mercer. He's gonna be treating or Mercer like shit, and then Daryl's gonna come in and maybe not hit him, but say something, and then that's where Sebastian's gonna do something to Daryl within like the higher rankings, gonna say something to Pamela Milton or Lance, and they're gonna start to do stuff to everyone else, right? Like other people are gonna thrive in this place, but certain people that don't want to put up with that shit that haven't had to since the apocalypse began. This is where, this is where the big questions come back. Like before the apocalypse, Daryl, dealing with someone like Sebastian, he probably wouldn't have said anything. And if he did, he would just end up in jail. But he most likely would have been like, no, I'm just gonna, I know how this usually works. I'm just gonna be quiet. It's been 10 years in the apocalypse, and we always talk about Daryl being or thriving in the apocalypse because this is just who he is. He doesn't put up with the bullshit, and he didn't have to. And then now we're back to a sense of normal here, and you're gonna have someone like Sebastian pulling this shit. I don't think Daryl's gonna stand for it, and I think we're gonna have some pretty big issues here. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this is gonna go. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.